These are the Precalculus section 1.4, class notes and examples, linear functions and slope. Again, these are the learning objectives of this section. Please make sure you read through the e-text, take your own notes, try to get your own understanding, and I will walk you through some examples to further help you with your understanding. So in the first example, we want to write the slope-intercept form of the line passing through -1, 5, the point, -1, 5, with an x-intercept of -4. So let's quickly review the different types of ways we will see the equation of a line. First of all, the slope-intercept form, which everyone's probably very comfortable with, y equals mx plus b, where m is the slope and b is the y-intercept. And the point slope form is y minus y1 equals m times the quantity x minus x1. Here again, m is the slope, and now at this point we know a point on the line, x1, y1. That is a point on the line. Okay, so what do we know for the first problem? We know that we actually have 2 points. We're told it passes through the point -1, 5, and it has an x-intercept of -4. That means where it crosses the x-axis, which means the y-coordinate is 0. So we have 2 points on the line, x1, y1 is -1, 5, and x2, y2, we'll call it, is -4, 0. It doesn't matter which one of these you labeled that way, but I needed to label this second point, x2, y2, so I could use the equation for the slope of a line, which is essentially the change in y divided by the change in x. So since I labeled these points this way, y2 minus y1 would be 0, -5, and x2 minus x1 would be -4, minus a -1, or -3. So the slope then is 5/3. Thus I got to go back now and use the point slope form, this y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1, plug in the slope, which I know is 5/3, and my point x1, y1 that I'm going to use, oh look at, I switched and I used this guy. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter which point I use. The formula just says x1, y1. So I could now call this guy x1, y1. So I'm going to do that just to make sure you understand it doesn't matter which one I label these. So I'm going to say my x1, y1 for the formula down here is -4, 0. So in other words, it's going to be x minus x1 minus a -4 is x plus 4 times the slope 5/3 equals y minus y1 or y minus 0. So y equals 5/3 x plus 20/3 once you distribute the 5/3 through. All right. In the second example, we want to give the slope and the y-intercept of 6x minus 12 equals 0. Now, to give the slope and the y-intercept, I want to solve it as y equals mx plus b. Notice there is no y in here. So let's see what we have if I simply solve this for x. Quickly, you can easily solve this for x to x equals 2. That's simply a vertical line at x equals 2. There is no slope. A straight up and down vertical line is an undefined slope, sort of an infinite slope if you want to think of it that way, and thus it has no y-intercept. All right, the third example, we want to find the x and y-intercepts of this equation of a line, 4x minus y equals 4. By the way, this is not in the familiar slope-intercept form or the point slope form. This is in what's called the general form of the equation of a line, which we'll speak about more later. But the general form is essentially a times x plus b times y equals c. So that's what we have here. So how do I find the x-intercept if I'm given the equation of a line? Well, the x-intercept means where y is equal to 0. So you just plug in y equals 0. So you get 4x minus 0 equals 4. Solve for x. So x equals 1 is the x-intercept. For the y-intercept, where it crosses the y-axis, that means where x is equal to 0. So you plug in x is equal to 0. So 4 times 0 minus y equals 4 means that y is equal to -4. So that's how you find the x and y-intercepts. And then in the fourth example, we want to use the slope and the y-intercept to graph the linear function 6x minus 3y equals -12. So we need to find the slope and the y-intercept, which means I want to take this equation, which is in the general form for the equation of a line, and put it in the slope-intercept form. So that means simply solve for y. So subtracting 6x from both sides, I get minus 3y equals minus 6x minus 12. Divide by minus 3, I get y equals 2x plus 4. So the slope is 2, the y-intercept is 4. Easiest way to do that is to go ahead and plot the y-intercept at 0, 4, right? B is 4, so when y is 4. And then a slope of 2 means the change in y has to be 2, divided by the change in x has to be 1. So if I go down 2 in the y direction and over 1 in the x direction, that gives me a positive slope of positive 2. And then just draw a line through that.